Now we're going to be working on time, speed, and distance calculations. And I think the best thing to do is just to jump right in and learn how to problem solve with a given scenario. So I've provided a number of scenarios that we'll just go through step by step. Okay. Problem one is finding ground speed from time and distance. A plane covers 300 nautical miles in 2.5 hours. What is the ground speed of the airplane or a helicopter? But let's be honest, it's probably an airplane. Align the time 2.5 hours on the inner scale with the distance 300 miles on the outer scale. So time of 2.5 hours. So where's 2.5 hours? We see 2:30 right here. So 2.5 hours. That looks good. With 300 miles. And again, on this outer scale, there's no 300, but there is a 30. So we're going to rotate this down to 30. And we'll do the best job we can about lining it up. So there's 30 or 300 in this case in 2.5 hours. Now, let's see. Read the ground speed under the speed index. Under the speed index, it looks like approximately 120 or 120 knots, which makes sense. So in 2.5 hours, we covered 300 nautical miles, and we can figure out that we're doing 120 knots. Problem two, finding time to fly a distance in statute miles. You're flying 180 miles per hour, and you need to cover 540 statute miles. How long will it take? First, we set the speed index. We set the speed 180 on the index. So 180 is going to be 18. Looks good. And find 540, but there's no 540, right? So there's 54. So we can come over here and we look at 54, and that says 3 hours. Hey-o! Read the corresponding time, which will be 3 hours. So I know these are like softball questions, but these will get you to understand how to problem solve, because these will be on your written test, not only on the little quiz that we have at the end of this unit, but when you go and take your FAA written, they're gonna give you this. And I know that you have an iPad, or you have your own flight computer on your cell phone or whatever, but you're barred from taking any electronic devices into the written test, and so we have to learn how to use this E6B. And I'm relearning, to be honest, because I haven't touched an E6B in a hot minute. So let's go down here. Problem number 3 is finding a distance from speed and time in nautical miles. A plane is flying at 150 knots for 2 hours. 150 knots, 2 hours. You can do simple math in your head. Just say 300. But let's do it with a whiz wheel. So align 150 with the speed index. So there is no 150, but there is a 15. There we go. Yep, it's close enough. Locate the 2 hours on the inner scale. The 2 hours is all the way down here, and we see the 2 hours on the inner scale, and then we look out 300 nautical miles. Softball questions, but you get the idea of how to do these. Problem 4. You fly 360 statute miles in 3 hours. What is your ground speed? Okay, so set 3 hours time on the inner scale, find 360 on the outer scale. So 3 hours is right here. 360 or 36 is going to be down here. Let's see, 40, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. All right, so this is 3 hours. We'll call it 18 right on 360. Now read what's under the index. So we'll come up here, and sure enough, it's a 120 or 120 miles per hour. Okay. Now let's do the last one. Problem 5, calculating time to cover a distance. If you're flying 90 knots and need to cover 180 nautical miles, how long will it take? So 90 knots, align the speed index with 90. There we go. Let's zoom in a little bit. Good enough. At 90, and then read the time on the inner scale. So, find 180 miles on the outer scale. So rather than 180, we have an 18 here, and then 18 on the inner scale, then 2 hours. So this is awesome. I love this. This is challenging, but again, refer to, if you ever get stuck, refer to the cheat sheet down here, actually on the E6B flight computer. And as always, like and subscribe if you want to learn more about the ins and outs of helicopters. My courses are designed just for you. Find them in the description below. And until next time.